after him! You gotta keep solving the mystery and boom kill that mystery phantom!
Hey!
Master, you may know the cause of the blackout, but what does that have to do with how the corpse was moved?
The failed main control system was in Car 1, where the body swap occurred. If so, then the main control system's failure must have something to do with moving the corpse.
So maybe the culprit broke the main control system. He must have attempted to stop the train to bring in the corpse from the outside.
But the train never stopped. The operation log confirms the train was moving the entire time. So I don't think he broke the system to bring the corpse in.
Then why did the main control system fail?
It must have something to do with moving the body.
But you're unsure exactly how, huh? In that case... I knew it! A mystery is blocking you! Anything blocking you in here is also a mystery, so let's solve it to keep on going. So this is the question we're facing right now.
The main control system must have failed because something happened in the first car. If that's true, what exactly happened? If it's related to the body being moved, then how?
Master's expression is so serious. He must be thinking hard. Well, as his mentor, I better think hard too. The main control system failing, the blackout, the train shaking. Oh yeah! Why did the train shake like that? There was a blackout right before entering the tunnel that was caused by the main control system failing. But the culprit didn't destroy it, so the blackout happened because... wasn't there some shaking right before the blackout too? After the whole train shook, the blackout... I don't get it.
That's right! The train shook right before the blackout. We still don't know what caused that to happen. Whatever it was strong enough to make the entire train shake. It caused the main control system to fail and resulted in a blackout. If it had something to do with moving a body, then what must have happened was...
Ooh! Did I give you the assistance you needed? Close to solving the case now? Then it's time to combine our powers and solve this thing! Let's go, Master! Lay it all out! Are you ready to play the Shinigami puzzle? Keep that up! Great! That's right! Great! Great! Keep that up! Nice!
Could it be that the first car was separated from the train?
Huh? Separated? What? Seriously?
Yeah. The reason why the main control system failed was because the first car was cut off from the rest of the train we were riding in.
Let's keep going for now. Master, I don't really get it. What do you mean the first car was cut off?
The shaking happened just before the blackout, right? Huh? Did it just shake? What was that? The lights went out for a moment and came back on. At that time, the first car was disconnected from the rest of the Amaterasu Express. As a result, the main control system failed, and after a brief blackout, it switched to the backup.
But why cut off the first car? Why go through all that trouble?
Of course, to move the body in the train car. To do that.
Watch out! Ah! There it is again! It's bigger than ever!
How much longer will this keep happening? I feel like I'm going to suffocate.
Now's not the time to be suffocating!
Again?
We need to resolve the mystery at hand.
Given that the first car was cut off so that the body could be moved. Right, I think I see what happened.
Seems like you got it. Let's do this! Lay it all out, Master! Puzzle it out! Great! Ta-da!
That's right! He transported the corpse using the entire first car. That's why the first car was disconnected.
Transported the corpse? With the entire car? Nonsense. Shut up! The first car is at the front of the train. Apex's corpse was in the fifth car, in the back. Even if you detach the front car, how do you move it all the way to the rear?
Master, don't be scared. Lots of villains transform after they've been cornered.
Calm down. Stay calm. Think. How could you swap the position of the first and fifth cars? If I can answer that, I can solve this mystery once and for all. How did it happen?
That reminds me. Master, earlier when you were talking about the shaking and mentioned the blackout? Blackout only happened once, but the shaking happened twice.
Yeah, it definitely shook two separate times. Right before entering the tunnel, and right after leaving it. The first time was when the train car was disconnected. But what about the second? Something happened to the train then, too. The shaking at the end of the tunnel felt similar to when Car 1 disconnected.
There's no point thinking about it. You're stuck in this labyrinth for all eternity!
Master, here it comes! You gotta solve the mystery and defeat him!
Your deductions aren't worth a damn thing! Because they're all wrong from the very beginning! So it shook twice near the tunnel. What of it? You mean the train car was separated and connected? Why would that even matter? Even if you managed to separate car 1, how could it be moved to the rear? The train was always running on the same tracks. There's no way to shuffle the train cars around.
This is the truth.
No! At that time, not all the cars were moving on the same track. The track that the Amaterasu Express was on separated into double tracks right before entering the tunnel. So by taking advantage of the double tracks, it's possible to switch out the train cars. The first time the train shook was before entering the tunnel, which was caused by car 1 separating. After that, the separated car 1 entered the other track, while the rest of the train proceeded on the main track. The two tracks rejoin after the tunnel. That's where car 1 connected to the end of the train. This is when the train shook for the second time.
You're right! The first car moved all the way to the back!
Normally, it's impossible for a single train car to function on its own. But the Amaterasu Express is special. The control system will supply electricity as programmed and drive the train. But all train cars on the train have motors that run autonomously.
If each train car can operate autonomously, then car 1 can function on its own! Doesn't that solve everything? It's time you gave up!
No! That's crazy!
Huh? What?
Using your method to rearrange the train cars would connect the first car to the end, which would leave it behind the 5th car. In other words, it becomes the 6th car, but that doesn't exist. So, you're telling me you found Aphex's corpse in the non-existent 6th car?
Oh, you're right.
Do you get it? You're the one who's wrong. Everything you've deduced is wrong!
No, I'm not wrong. The truth lies just ahead of us. I will prove it to you.
Let's work together. That's right.
Maybe the Amaterasu Express doesn't have 5 cars. What if there were only 4 cars to begin with? If that's the case, then to me, car 1 could be made to look like car 5.
Huh? So there weren't 5 cars the whole time, but instead 4?
That's why Melanie said the 5th car's door was broken while we were in transit.
But you can't access the 5th car, the one at the end. The door appears to be broken and won't open.
So it wasn't broken. The 4th car was actually the farthest one back from the get-go?
I'm sure the real 5th car was left behind at the station when we departed. So the train took off with only 4 cars. There was another car 1 at our destination. If it connected upon arrival, then the train would have 5 cars again. So the car 1 where I was knocked out became the 5th car at the end of the line. And when I was questioned by the Peacekeepers, the car one there was another car prepared at the station specifically for this plot.
The real car one was waiting at the station's platform, then all the Peacekeepers there would have noticed it. So they were all in on it.
Or you can assume that the Peacekeepers themselves were the ones who prepared the other car one. If there was another car one, then there would be something that sets it apart from the original car one. For example, the way the window glass was broken in the infirmary would be different from how I broke it.
You mean when you used the fire extinguisher to smash the infirmary's window? So they knew you would do that? That's how they were able to imitate it in the new car one?
I think I was set up to reach for that fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher was left in a conspicuous spot in the hallway. They wanted me to use it to break the window. And that's how they pulled off swapping the first and fifth cars while in transit. It was all a trap to set me up as the culprit. Isn't that right? Zilch?
All right, we're almost there. Let's catch this culprit. That was a pretty solid deduction. Very impressive. Of me foreseeing your potential.
It's so strange. It doesn't feel like I'm learning this stuff, more like I'm remembering it. Maybe I was even a high-ranking detective in the WDO.
Now's no time for bragging. You still gotta catch him.
Right! Everything feels different here.
This is just the calm before the storm. Be careful. You don't know what's gonna happen next. You know, making the first car look like the fifth was a really big trick to pull off. I'm surprised the train cars could disconnect and reconnect so smoothly.
The train's automatic operating system must have had it programmed before we departed.
Even the trick with the swapping train car?
Probably. It had to have been done automatically.
Well, it'd be easy for Amaterasu. They own the train.
That's what I'm worried about. Even if I obtain the truth here, won't they just ignore what I say and arrest me anyway?
I keep telling you not to worry about it. As long as you have the truth, the culprit can't escape.
Why are you so sure of that? What is this?
Looks like a fort to me. With this kind of protection, I bet the truth is in there for sure. You just have to destroy it.
So the truth is here.
You can't have the truth. It's impossible to destroy this fortress. Just give up and leave!
Whenever a culprit takes a last stand like this, you know we're just a step away from unriddling this labyrinth. Master, time to show him how dangerous you really are. After all, he did try to set you up.
I'm not worried about that right now. We're so close to the truth. We gotta do this.
It's boom kill time!
let you have the truth. Go away! Give up and scram! Your deduction is wrong! Go away! Don't come near me! Don't come any closer! Stop it! Switching the first and fifth cards is just your imagination. It's a completely baseless lie. There's no evidence they ever swapped.
Use the solution key to smash through the wall, Master!
You're wrong! Huh? Come on! No! There are traces of a swap! The warped plate from Car 5! The reason that plate was burned so thoroughly is because originally it said Car 1. Left as it was, it would have messed up your plot to make Car 1 look like Car 5. That's why you made extra sure it was burned beyond recognition.
Here I go!
That's nonsense! I burned the plate to disguise it? No! I didn't do that! Stop it! Stop! Go away! Get away from me! Get away! Get away! It just happened to be easily burned! But with it burned, you have no way of knowing what number car it was. So there's nothing backing up your deduction. You have no hard evidence proving that location was the first car.
Looks like we need another solution key to boom kill him. Good luck, Master!
There is proof! The bloodstain on the inner lock of the infirmary in Car 5! The culprit probably didn't notice it. But I remember. It's my blood.
What?
When I was trying to get into the infirmary in Car 1, I cut my finger on the glass. When I reached through to unlock the latch, I must have gotten blood on it. But that bloodstain would have been hidden while the inner lock was open. That's probably why the culprit missed it. My blood, which was left behind in Car 1, was found in Car 5. This proves that someone pulled off the car switching trick. This is the truth of the case.
I'm not done yet!
What? He's still going? Let us boom kill you already!
If Car 1 became Car 5, then where did the culprit supposedly hiding in the infirmary go? You had to have checked the 5th car, but the culprit wasn't there!
The culprit must have been hiding somewhere in the 5th car, probably someplace safe. Here. The culprit was hiding inside the main control room, which was locked shut the entire time. I didn't have the key, so I could never have gotten inside. I bet the culprit moved there from the infirmary while Car 1 was running on the 2nd track. If the train's management company, Amaterasu Corporation, was involved, the culprit may have had the key. And Then they hid in a blind spot I couldn't see from the window. That's how they got past me.
No, it's not me. I'm not the culprit.
Great detective work! I'd call that a critical hit. He seems like he's barely standing. All that's left is to finish him off.
Finish him off? How do I do that?
Shove all your evidence into the solution blade and slash as hard as you can. Master Detectives slain before their time, and Amaterasu Corporation has Master in their sights. Truth bombs are about to be dropped. Time for the deduction denouement!
The incident unfolded aboard the Amaterasu Express, which was on its way to Kanaiwar. I rushed onto the train as it was about to depart. At that time, the train was made up of 5 cars.
All because you were fast asleep in the Lost and Found, Master. If you'd kept snoozing, the case would never be solved.
When the train started moving, it was only 4 cars long. The 5th and final one was left at the station.
And so, the culprit scheme had already begun. Meaning Amaterasu Corporation was involved from the get-go.
On the train, the master detectives were gathered together in car 2. That was the dining car. And the culprit had already mixed a knockout drug into every drink there.
I thought the culprit was the first person on the train, so they could prepare in advance and wait for everybody else.
I felt unwell, and Melanie went to the trouble of pouring me a coffee. But after drinking it, I started to feel drowsy. I was hearing things at the time and thought that I might be seriously ill, but it was actually the drug.
So you thought yours truly was responsible? Sticks and stones won't do much to a dead god, but slander stings!
The culprit sent me off to car 1 in order to frame me as the killer.
I'm sure the culprit didn't expect you to get sick, Master, but since you look like a super easy target, they probably changed their plan and went after you instead.
Once I'd left, the other master detectives must have fallen asleep because of the drugged drinks.
The culprit then burned everyone to death, setting all those master detectives on fire! On purpose! What a psycho!
This was when the culprit put their plan to frame me into motion. First, they carried Aphex's charred corpse to the infirmary in car 1.
The very first body we found.
Then, they deliberately left a fire extinguisher near the restroom I was sleeping in. This was done to prompt me into smashing the door later.
Gotta have someone get inside somehow, or else nobody would find the body.
Next, the culprit entered the infirmary, locked the door, and laid down on the bed with Aphex's charred corpse.
Jumping into bed with a charred corpse! And here I thought chivalry was dead! What a gentleman! I'm actually a little jealous.
A knife and cushion created the red herring.
Hell of a way to pretend to be dead.
Furthermore, the culprit set the room on fire just as I was waking up.
While you were sleeping, I felt someone come into the restroom. They must have seen me then and timed it.
When I woke up in the restroom and went into the hallway, car 1 was beginning to fill with smoke.
Oh, that's some precise timing!
I caught a glimpse of Zilch in the infirmary, with a knife lodged in his chest.
But it didn't take long for the smoke to obscure everything.
That was when the culprit took out Aphex's burnt corpse, switched places with it, and waited for me to enter the room while hiding beneath the bed.
It's just like a magic trick, switching places under a veil of smoke.
Meanwhile, I found a fire extinguisher on the floor, smashed the window, unlocked the room, and went inside.
Just like the culprit planned. And that's why they left the fire extinguisher there in the first place.
After the smoke cleared, I found Zilch's body, burnt to a crisp. At least, that's what I thought. The charred corpse was actually Aphex. The culprit had me completely fooled.
That must have been why they picked the time-consuming method of roasting someone to death. Plus, the body was about the right size.
I bolted out of car 1 after seeing the corpse.
The culprit was under the bed at that time. They probably left to eat from there, watching everything unfold like they planned.
I went on to discover the charred corpses of the other master detectives. Around that time, the culprit came out from under the bed and went to the main control room in Car 1. Controlling the train from there, they detached Car 1.
That caused the blackout and shaking, and the power source was switched over to the backup system. So when the train shook... Was there or was there not jiggling in the gas? Take a guess.
While the detached Car 1 was running on a separate track, the culprit went to work, preparing to disguise Car 1 as Car 5.
What about the jiggling?
First, Apex's corpse was carried to the corridor, and the necklace removed earlier was placed back on.
Then the Car 1 number plate was burned so that it couldn't be properly identified.
With everything in place, the culprit went into the main control room, locked the door, and waited for the train cars to reconnect.
Well, this time, the culprit was riding in Car 1 on the other track, right?
Yeah, the train, which was only cars 2, 3, and 4 at the time, remained on course.
Since we were in a tunnel, I didn't even realize Car 1 was moving alongside us.
The train we were on went through the tunnel with only 3 cars. When it came out of the tunnel, the car with the culprit in it attached to Car 4. Now behind Car 4, that car became Car 5.
The swap was pre-programmed into the train's automatic operating system, right? Technology sure is convenient.
The culprit, riding in Car 1, attached it to the back of Car 4. That caused more shaking, but there was no blackout this time because the power supply stayed the same.
Additional shaking occurred inside my blouse, but the power stayed on.
After that, I mistook Car 1 for Car 5 and walked right in. The culprit wrecked it so much I didn't even notice the door I had smashed when I was in Car 1 before.
I figured there'd been some kind of brawl. But that was part of the culprit's plan, wasn't it? Also, no one would realize it was actually Car 1.
When I found the corpse, I deduced that it was Aphex from the necklace it had on. But I was just rediscovering the same charred corpse from Car 1. The disguised corpse and the car switch completely fooled me.
Using a dead body? Oh, that's a despairingly brilliant idea!
When the train arrived in Kanaywar, it connected to a different, prearranged Car 1.
And with that, the train once again had 5 cars. So much attaching and detaching! What a stupid, crazy, elaborate trick!
Peacekeepers were lying in wait at the station. As the sole survivor, I was set up as the one responsible for the murders.
And Amaterasu was in on it! That really turns me on!
You mean pisses me off, right?
During that time, the culprit stayed hidden in the main control room of the disguised Car 1 and waited for the peacekeepers to haul you in, Master. They were right there at the scene.
After burning all the master detectives, the culprit faked their own death and tried to frame me as the killer. It was a cunning, cold-blooded scheme.
And the evildoer who committed these countless contemptible crimes is none other than... Zilch Alexander!
It was you!
This is the truth I've uncovered! Is that it? What's this?
It's the truth. It's the soul of the true culprit who made this mystery labyrinth.
The soul of the true culprit? Wait, what am I supposed to do with this?
Now it's time for the main event! Here we go! It's my time to shine! Surging bloodlust. Overflowing despair. The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case! Death to all deplorables! Ruin to the vile mystery labyrinth! Starting shining rainbow glorious stellar spiral! That is grand
Huh? We're back?
What are you talking about now? Your spirit shouldn't be broken. Yet. The Peacekeepers will take care of you. We have all the time in the world.
Huh? Ah! Shinigami! Where are you? Nothing here's changed. What's going on? Shinigami? Are you listening?
Get him!
Wait! I know who the culprit is!
What?
It's Zilch! He's still alive. He framed me.
What are you talking about? He's already dead!
Huh? But...
Shut up! This is not up for discussion! What a waste of time! Take him away!
Shinigami! Where did you go? This isn't what's supposed to happen!
I'm right here! You're so cute when you panic, so why head to enjoy the view for a bit?
Stop playing around! Why hasn't the situation changed at all?
He must be hallucinating. Taking him down shouldn't be a problem. Take him away! What? He's dead?
Looks like it's over.
Huh? What's over? Shinigami, what's going on?
There's always a price to pay. When I read the soul of the true culprit, the mystery labyrinth created by the culprit is destroyed. But as a price, the source that created the mystery labyrinth also perishes.
The source perishes? Don't tell me.
That's right, the true culprit dies.
Then that report saying Zilch, the true culprit, was dead.
And that solves today's mystery. The true culprit is as dead as a doornail. You're now innocent and free to go, Master. A happy ending. Roll credits!
There's nothing happy about this. Zilch died because I solved the mystery, right?
Huh? He was a dangerous murderer who killed 4 master detectives. He deserved to die.
I mean, I don't think I'm completely free to go. Not even with Zilch being dead.
In that case, say exactly what I'm about to tell you to that gilded idiot over there.
Okay. Swank, did you just receive a report that Zilch was dead?
How did you know that?
I thought so.
Ah!
If he was alive until moments ago, that changes things about this case. Someone who died in front of my eyes, was alive. This is clearly an attempt by the culprit to disguise the truth. Don't tell me the Peacekeepers lied to try to cover up what really happened. You didn't try to frame an innocent person, did you?
What? You think you can weasel your way out of this? You better not forget you're in Kanai Ward now. You're powerless before the might of the Amaterasu Corporation!
No, I didn't mean...
Hey, don't surrender so easily. You were so close.
That does it! You're under arrest! Listen, you got no right to remain silent, and you got no right to call a lawyer either! Take him away!
Oh, wait! Hold on just a second! Hey, excuse me. Do you have a minute?
You!
It's all good. Let's stop all the fighting. We both have to follow orders from the higher-ups, so let's not do anything that causes unnecessary tension. Falsifying evidence and testimonies is a drag when it comes time to do the paperwork, right? It's tough keeping things consistent. Just forget about all that and leave it to me, yeah? You know, I saw that the true culprit was alive and well just a bit ago.
What?
If you let us go, I'll cook something up in my report to the World Detective Organization. You don't want trouble, right? If the WDO floods this joint because of you. Your punishment might be kind of brutal. So, you know what to do. Leave things well enough alone, as they say.
Let's go!
Thank goodness that worked out.
Who is he?
Beats me?
Well, I bet that was quite a long trip for you. Welcome to Kanai Ward.
Thanks.
You must be Yuma. Yuma Cocoa Head, right?
I am. And you are?
I'm Yaku Furio. I was born and raised in Kanai Ward. Just a humble member of the WDO. I'm the director of the Nocturnal Detective Agency, the only detective agency in Kanai Ward. My office welcomes you. Nice to make your acquaintance.
Thanks. The pleasure is all mine. So he's a detective from the WDO. Finally, I've met an ally. He managed to turn away the Peacekeepers, so he must be in high standing.
Really? He's clearly just some careless, middle-aged man. Oh, by the way, don't tell anyone about yours truly. You might have forgotten, but our secret is included in the contract. It'd be terrible if you broke this rule. To be exact, your whole body would be drained of its blood.
Okay, I won't tell anyone.
Well, even if you did, they'd just assume you're some crazy person.
Now, shall we? Oh, by the way, I'd like to hear the details about this incident.
Right. I'm sorry I kept you waiting. It took a while to get through all the proceedings.
They practically interrogated you, right? Kanai Ward is completely shut off from the outside world. Communication devices, such as cell phones, are confiscated. Cameras are not permitted to leave Kanai Ward either. Even if you smuggle something with reception in, Kanai Ward is a dead zone. Thanks to all that tight closure, nobody's using this fancy station at all.
Did you say no one?
You show a lot of promise, considering how you handled that Amaterasu trouble. I was scared, to be honest. I don't want to deal with them if I don't have to. The thing is, the Peacekeepers always antagonize detectives. As a basic rule, never look them in the eye. They're always itching for a fight. Kinda like mad dogs.
Right.
Amaterasu Corp doesn't want the unified government or the WDO meddling in their matters. I even caught wind of them hiring a hitman.
A hitman?
They plan to wipe out any master detectives before they enter Kanai Ward. The result of which is this Amaterasu Express massacre.
So Zilch was actually a hitman?
Nope. There was a real master detective named Zilch. He was murdered beforehand and used as a disguise. You were in the first car earlier. The real Zilch is laying dead somewhere in there. There was a separate first car at the station before you arrived where Zilch's body was hidden. Then, the 4 train cars that you rode in would arrive at the station in Kanai Ward and connect with the fake first car. That makes a total of 5 dead master detectives at Kanai Ward's platform. With no master detectives left, you would be arrested as the only culprit. That was the plan.
They would go to such lengths?
Absolutely. Even though the plan didn't work, we still lost 5 master detectives. Given the situation, I'm honestly surprised you survived, Yuma.
That's all thanks to me. You're so lucky to be haunted by yours truly.
Wait, if there was a real Zilch, then the number of people on board the Amaterasu Express, including me, that makes 6 people. The numbers still don't add up.
I, Hoochie, heard from the World Detective Organization that the number of master detectives on the train was precisely 5.
Oh, I'll explain that later. Anyway, let's leave this place. Wouldn't want to give the Peacekeepers any ideas.